It's me, Renee. I'm back. So this is the intro to reading vlog. Yes, doing a bit more of those. Well, a bit, yeah, more than more than before. So yeah, sorry. So the theme to this, reading vlog is books that started and then I kind of put them away on pause and then I haven't finished them. So yeah, I want to either I'm gonna pick them up this week. So now it's the 27th of October. On Sunday is the 1st of November. So from today till Sunday, I'll try to either DNF these books or finish them. I suppose I'll either DNF, finish them thoroughly, or skim them. But somehow, some way, I'll get through them. Though honestly, quite a few of them have a big idea that I might DNF them because so far I haven't been that well into them and I started them and I haven't really been that enticed to pick them back up. So I'm thinking they probably are DNFs for real, but I still want to give them a second chance. So in case like I end up DNFing half of these, it's not impossible that I'll also include in this same vlog some other books that I want to read that I haven't read yet, that I kind of want to get to. So I suppose this vlog is kind of more like procrastinating. Your name is Renee, and procrastinating book. It's your time now. I'm looking at you. So yeah, now you're probably wondering which books are you talking about? I'm gonna tell you. So okay, let's start from the top here. This one, The Contender, Chosen Ones by Taran Mataru. I bought this one early this year in, let's say November, in February, when I was in London. I found it signed, and yeah, kind of wanted to get to it for a long time. I haven't, I recently started slightly, and I was very intrigued. But like, I started this weekend, but then this weekend I kind of wanted to focus on other stuff. So this one, I actually have good vibes. I have good hopes for this one. I'm thinking this might work out. I'm thinking it might be good. And then next one I also have more high hopes for, which is Not Your Backup by C.B. Lee. It's the third in the Not Your series, so I'm familiar with the series, so it's not like unfamiliar territory, so that's good. It's okay. So the plot of this, if you want to know, it's dystopian. Well, it's dystopian-ish. It's kind of like it's set in 20. I think maybe it's like 2030 or 2040, so it's like in the future, but it's not like way in the future. It's the same millennial, but just not the same century. I might be wrong. Maybe it's maybe like 2040. Yeah, it's not like way in the future anyway. So it's slightly dystopian. And yeah, there's in this world there's superheroes, but there's also like there's it's not Hunger Gamesy. It's not like the government is very evil. I mean, they have schools, and I mean the society in this world is pretty similar to our society, but some rules like make them slightly evil. So yeah, it's kind of like a gray area of the government really. And yeah, but like in this book number 3, they kind of want to start to take down the government because even though the gray area, they say like you shouldn't do the stuff that you're doing. So yeah, I started very slightly. I wasn't in the mood for it, but think I'll be in the mood for it now, hopefully. And yeah, then we have A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. It's a book in the Disney's retellings A Twisted Tale series, where Disney, the corporation, they hire authors to write retellings of the movies. So instead of like have a retelling of Perrault's Cinderella or the Grimm's version of Snow White, they have versions of the movie. And yeah, this is a version of Aladdin. Its tagline is, "What if Aladdin had never found a lamp?" So that's quite interesting. So I started slightly, and at first I was like, "Ah, I love Aladdin. I want to get to it." And then I read some bad reviews of it, and honestly, yeah, I'm not very much into it. But honestly, so far it's meh. It's not that interesting. So I'm thinking I might DNF this because it's gotten like a few ones and twos on Goodreads. But I want to give it another go. That's why it's in this video. So yep. Then we have Dragon Pearl by Yonha Lee. It's a book in the Rick Riordan Presents series. It's science fiction for middle grade, and it's based slightly around Korean mythology, and it's also like fox shapeshifters. So I love the concept of it, but like execution was like I've gotten slightly into it, and I suppose like I read a bit and I enjoy it when I read it, but when I put down, I was like I'm not like I need to get to it. So it's kind of like on the fence for me. Like it's not like something I want, I need to finish and need to read now. But it's not a definite DNF for me really because I am enjoying it. And yeah, a friend of mine, Annalisa Eli, she says that she read this a few months ago, and she says yes, in the beginning it's a bit slow and all that. I suppose it's kind of like getting used to the world and stuff. I suppose I'm still like get a bit like confused with the world. So I suppose when you're used to this world, it's easier to be engaged and like the story. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And then we have just two more. The Beginning of the World in the End of the in the Middle of the Night by Jen Campbell. Jen Campbell is a booktuber, as well as an author. I suppose she's not an author, she's more a booktuber that's also an author, I'd say. She's been a booktuber for a long while. She makes good videos. Obviously, why else would I mention it? This is her. I think maybe it's a mix of poems and short stories. Maybe it's just short stories. Yeah. Anyway, it's not a huge story, a huge book, but I started slightly, and it's kind of macabre. Like the first story started is kind of like gory, and I'm not that into that. But I want to give it another go, and so I mean, it's short stories, so it's not like you need to read all of the books and like, all the stories to enjoy some of it. Like so it's rare really that you enjoy all the books in the anthology, all the books, all the stories, at least for me. So yeah, I want to give this another go. And then, yeah, now you're gonna hate me. You really are. This is controversial. Kinda is. But Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Second book in his trilogy series. I think it's a trilogy, I'm not quite sure. This book and the first book in the series, Kings of the Wild, has gotten only good reviews, or I think maybe it's so one of two bad reviews, but most of the time people have loved and raved about this book. Yeah, I started slightly. I'm enjoying it, but it's not like I'm highly enjoying it. And it's huge and it's high fantasy and it's supposed to be very fun, so hopefully it'll be funner soon. But so far I feel like it's kind of I'm not that into it so far, but I'm very short into it. So yeah, I do want to give it another go. I don't know if I've told you, maybe I haven't, but like I have this slightly rule for myself that like rule, well, yeah, different degrees. Like so, for me, it's not a really big issue of DNFing, but I want to give books a chance. But like for me, if there's some small part of it that's interesting, I'll give it 100 pages. And if I'm not interested by then, I'll stop. If I like maybe 3 out of 5 elements of the book and the two stuff in the book annoy me, they'll give it to till halfway. So this one I think I might just give it like till 100 because yeah, I'm so unsure about it. But I want to try it more, as I said. So yeah, yeah. So that's those books. So it's a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 books. 6 books in 6 days. Can I do it? I think I can actually because I actually don't work that much this week, so could be. Then again, who knows if it massively fails. And in case I've managed to ignore some of these books, they'll just end up and roll over my TBR till November, so it's not a huge issue. But yeah, kind of want to like make this vlog as a way of motivating myself to like do it now. Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's a fun little project, really. And yeah, as I said, if I do enough, like 3 of this, like, and then I just like, of course, reading 2 books in 6 days, at least for me, that's not an issue, really. That's not a problem. So yeah, like if I end up just reading 2 of these books, like I like want to pick up something new, I will pick up something new. But I have a few options, and you'll just be surprised, and you'll see that in that clip if I'll do that. So yeah, this is my intro to that. I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned. Bye. Hey, this is an update. Yeah, it's me, really. Yeah. This is an update on a vlog I started last week. Feels like an eternity. Well, it was kind of because I meant to finish it last week. Didn't do that, but like the point was to kind of like to get through these books before like the end of October. And yeah, I didn't get to them before now, but like this is the first real week of November, so I would say I'm not that far off target, really. So yeah, also you might be thinking, okay, how is it going? Yeah, I'll tell you how it's going. Now, as I said, I had suspicions that I would be some DNFs, and yeah, I've DNFs these 3. So this one, and I felt kind of I didn't just DNF this one just kind of an hour ago, really. I think this one kind of makes me feel the most stupid because I just now read the back, and it says like they have to fight to death with monsters. I'm like, okay, that sounds very Hunger Gamesy, and I like that. I suppose, like as I said, I saw an interview with the author, and he talked about like how he used real world history and stuff. And so far, I haven't read that much, but I've read like 12 pages of this. And so far, you have Roman soldiers that were speared, and you have yeah, monsters, and you might have Louis the 12th, the Lost King. So you have some of that, yeah. But you also have the aspect of like having to kill to survive, and like I don't mind violence, but like for me, violence is fine if there's a battle, if there's like a war, but like just one on one like this. I don't know. It's kind of slightly described as video games, just in book form, and I would kind of agree. Like the first chapters were very much like fight, 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 and then there's been some talk. And there doesn't really seem to be that much plot. So yeah. So yeah, DNFing. It's signed by the author, so that's slightly sad. And so I suppose if you want it, I could try to send you it. But yeah, I'll probably give it to charity. So yeah. Then up next we have A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. So this is a Disney Twisted Tale Disney, when it's a version of Aladdin. Disney, the company, they also publish books, and they have this series of books where they uh, ask authors to write different takes on their movies. This one is on Aladdin, obviously. And the idea is like, what if Aladdin had never found the lamp? So that intrigues me very much. And I actually haven't read any of the other of this series, but like, it's not all just one author, it's different authors, right? It's not just the same author. But yeah, I'm thinking I might be maybe started wrong place because even though I love Aladdin, the author of this one, the author of this, Liz Baswell, yeah, she writes like a 4-year-old. I I read years ago. I read Nine Lives to Chloe King by her because I love the TV series. The books, I almost scratched my eyes out. It was so painful, so painful. So yeah, as I said, I gave this another go today, but yeah, I can't. This one I just gave up at like chapter 2, but I know it's not gonna get better. So yeah. this one is out of my life. That feels, in a way, kind of feels like de-stressing and relaxing, right? To like DNF stuff, because like, okay, now you know that you don't have to think about, oh, I have to read that, have to read that. No, it's out of your life. Don't think about it anymore. You don't have to think about it, and that's kind of enjoy. Yeah, that's kind of wonderful feeling, really, I would say. So yeah. Also, The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night. It's short stories written by Jen Campbell. She's a booktuber, author. I'll link her down below. I love her videos. She's also the author behind Weird Things Customers Say in Bookstores 1 and 2, and as well as the Bookshop book. I love those three. They are all non-fiction books. This is a fiction book she's written, and it's very macabre. It's about, at least the first story is about a girl a woman who's bought a heart, and I read a bit into it, and I'm just like, I'm not really liking the writing style of this one. It's just too absurd, really. It's very absurd and it's macabre, and it's not for me. I'm not gonna. I know by myself. I know deep in my heart. I know myself from reading style, and this, I don't really think it's for me, really. So yeah, I'm gonna DNF it. I'm still kind of curious about her. She has some children's books as well. She writes both this adults and children's stories as well. So I kind of want to read more of Jenny Campbell's fiction, but her short stories probably not. Or maybe I should just be more focused on like be more aware of. So yeah, this book, I'm DNFing it. It's not for me. I suppose that you should realize that even though I like an author as a person, you won't necessarily like the book. I mean, there's a lot of nice people in the world, but doesn't necessarily mean you like their creation. I mean, that's just a fact of it, really. So yeah. And then just a little update for you guys. Oh, you probably by now you've already seen the first part because it's only one part, but yeah, I still have these two. Dragon Pearl, I would say I have the most faith in this one because it's Rick Riordan presents, and because I have faith in Rick Riordan, and because this one, even though I'm not loving it, I'm not hating it, and I am feeling like if I give it another go, if I give it a good chance, I think I'll enjoy it. And yeah, I'm still not that far into it, so like it's high fantasy. Well, it's science fiction, so we have to get involved and understand a whole different world. So I think like if I read a bit more and like understand the world more, I think I like it more. I think so. I might be wrong, but I do think so. I do think so. I mean, I've heard all the new things about this, and I don't think I'm that weird. I would be against the stream on this. I suppose I could, but yeah. And then I also have Bloody Rose. This one, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure at all. I mean, it's gotten very good reviews, yeah, but it's high fantasy and it's kind of way for me at least. It kind of feels like high fantasy. Like it feels very out there in a way, though it's not that out there. But I suppose out there in a way, like the world is very fleshed out and stuff, and it's I don't know. There's a reason I like urban fantasy most. You don't really have to understand new worlds. I'm lazy, okay? Understanding new worlds can be a bit much now and then. So yeah, this intimidates me. So yeah. But I have it on my vlog, so I do want to give it a chance. So yeah. Just FYI, and this might be me saying something stupid as well, but I kinda want to like try this to like get to these two this week. So I still like wouldn't have completely lied to you at the beginning of this, saying that I wanted to read these before October, but I will have lied, but like I would have gotten to all these books in the beginning of November, and like if you say you're going to do something at the end of something and then you do something at the start of the next, I would say that's not that far off. Like if I like end up finishing up this at the end of November, yeah, that would be way off. But the beginning, it's just a few days after I said, so yeah, I think that's gonna be good. Hopefully that's what happens. Like tomorrow I have time on on Tuesday my store it's moving, so it's officially opening that day, and now I'm gonna work for 9 hours, so that's gonna be interesting. So I don't won't really read that much then. But yeah, I suppose I think I might like read. I think I might read a bit more in this one today, and yeah, a bit more maybe tomorrow Wednesday. I might do that. And yeah, there's also always Friday. So yeah, wish me luck. And yeah, also I like other stuff I want to get to, but they're like yeah, unofficially on this vlog. They might, as I said, might end up on it. And yeah, bye. Hey, this is yet another update in this reading vlog. It was supposed to be like at the end of October and the beginning of November. I suppose no, it's the 18th of November. I suppose you can't call it the beginning anymore. But in other words, it's also like subtitled the procrastination vlog, so that fits. So yeah, anyway, I finished this one, Guyholic. I actually started this one back in I think maybe September. So it's been like on my currently reading list for quite a while now, and it's not a huge book, so I don't really have a valid reason for not finishing earlier. Just there being uh, this is one of all the books, and simply sorry, I simply didn't prioritize this one. I ended up finishing it yesterday because I had only like 50 pages left. So for like 50 pages, I'm gonna finish it. So it's finished. It is a reread. So yeah, I already knew like I remember most of the stuff because it's not a huge book. So huge books, small books, you don't forget so much about. And yeah, I remembered most of the stuff from it, and yeah, so it's enjoyable to read it again. And yeah, it's a very good book, really, about just gonna tell you what it's about. It's about 18-year-old. So it starts with her graduating college, high school, and she's like this outgoing person that's she's happy with her sexuality. She has sex. She loves sex. To very sex positive book. That's not really often that you find in YA books. So well, it's not very often you find it. I thought it's supposed to find it more lately, but yeah. And yeah, often you find virgins or like people around kiss, but this is a girl who's had a lot of sex and she's not ashamed of it. And yeah, and I suppose the issues that her mom hasn't really been there for her. She's moved a lot around. Her dad is non-existent. Well, he's not around. So like this, she has all this baggage. And yeah, so this book takes place during a road trip the summer after her high school graduation. And yeah, it's a very good, fun book. As I said, it's not big. You see, also it's not a big book, but still, yeah, it's very interesting. And it's not like sometimes I feel like sometimes you feel like finish a book and feel like, oh, it should have been longer because you feel like there's so much missing from different plot lines and stuff. Or like sometimes you finish a book like that book was too long because there's so many unnecessary parts of it. But this book, I would say actually it's exactly long enough. It's it's around actually yeah, it's not even actually 200 pages, as you might have guessed. So it doesn't look that big really. And yeah, but it really does tell a great story in those 200 pages. And yeah, in those just about 200 pages. Like no, actually, it's 150 pages, so not long at all really, not big at all. And sometimes books they can uh, yeah, I was about to say, like this book is actually second in a companion series, but I wouldn't really say you need to read the first book to enjoy this book. Though I suppose you get more backstory to if you read the first one, but you don't need it. So yeah, still, even without reading the companion, I would say this is a very delightful, fun, good read in yeah a few pages. And yeah, that's not often done. So yeah, now I'm actually getting quite close to the books that I plan to finish. I just have two more, so this makes me quite happy. Because yeah, I think I said it, but won't say it again. Part of the plan was this vlog was like finishing books that I have started years ago. Sorry, started months ago and I haven't finished. I want to finish. It's not books I want to DNF. It's books I want to finish. I just kind of procrastinating with them. So yeah, I'm quite happy with a lot of them being finished now in one way or another. I suppose some of them, yeah, I did DNF as you've seen other videos clips, but yeah, some of them didn't, and yeah, it's been good. And I'll see you later. Bye. Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So yeah, this is another update. Been a bit while since the last one, but yeah, another update to this vlog. And today I finished Knock You Back Up. So yeah, today I was like 108, no, sorry, 108. I was like 84 pages in, and so I'm like, you know what? I want to pick this book back up again. So I picked it back up, and yeah, it is really, really good. The beginning was like, and then I suppose, okay, so my nitpicks with it is not really, well, one is like the beginning was kind of slow-ish for me. I felt like it didn't really start to like roll and start to like happen before like the first 120 pages. Like at page 120, it's like, okay, now things are going to happen. And then like when the middle came, it's like, oh, stuff is really, really going down. And I don't want to give spoilers, but I kind of want to say uh, they use brains in this book in a way you don't like at all, and it's just like, oh, 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 God. So yeah, I suppose what I kind of realized also while reading this is probably a bit of a silly thing to say, but I realized I'm very stupid while reading this. Because while reading this, I just kind of felt like, okay, yeah, this world now has so many characters, so many layers, so much everything. Even though it's set semi in our world. It's not like it's. I suppose it's dystopian-ish because it's set in our world with United States and Europe and all that. While it's set in future, I think it's set in like 22, maybe 23,000, stuff like that, like 2300. I think it's around that, so it's semi close to our time, but not that close. And then because of climate change, they've had to Canada and Mexico and the United States has become one country instead of three. And then there's a whole new system, all that. And so yeah, this is the third book in the series, but still, I'm still a bit confused because there's like so much new aspects of this new world. So like, what's going on now? What does this mean? What does it mean? And I don't know. I suppose I'm just too stupid because I feel like a lot of it just confuses the heck out of me. But I still really enjoy it. I still do really really enjoy it. I still find this series very very good. But as I said, very very confusing as well. Like, okay, so there's 1,000 characters and 1,000 layers and 1,000 everything is just like, oh, okay. So how does that work with that and that work with that? I suppose maybe it will all be much easier when I have the whole series and I can like finish the whole series because often I think some series actually work very well as binging or like very very well when you reread it because then you notice, oh yeah, that's how that works, that's that person, that's that. When you're reading this whole for the first time, it's like, okay, and I think also I suppose in a way because so this book, it takes place like out there, kind of. It's like the first and second book, they take place in this world, yeah, but they still takes like, yeah, it's still set around teens going to school, having love issues, having school issues, family issues. It's still kind of, it's not all out there. In this one, it's all very much out there. So I suppose it's kind of, yeah, it just takes everything to a whole nother level. But still, I still, I still really enjoy it. I'm very confused. So yeah. But yeah, I'm very happy I finished it because, as I said, I do very much enjoy it. Just, I'm feeling so stupid. So yeah, I suppose this is a book to pick up if you want to be humble. If you want to feel stupid, pick this book up. I suppose if you're me, pick this book up if you want to feel stupid. I can't say for everyone else. I can't really talk for everyone else. But for me, yeah, I felt a bit stupid reading this. And very, very confused. At the same time, I really enjoyed it. So, yeah. Life and reading, it's weird. It's like, it's a paradox. Very paradoxical. So, yeah. Yeah, so I finished it. Whee! I actually just want to give you a little sneak peek. Actually started rereading. Actually started reread. Actually started reading this for reals. Like on Wednesday, Tuesday maybe. So yeah, I started recently. So I'm now at chapter 2. I would say slightly chapter 1 was kind of uninteresting and wasn't that good really, but chapter 2 is good, and I'm still like liking being back in this world. I was like looking at the cover, like, oh, there's stuff there, there's stuff there. I really love how this cover has so many details to it. It's so cool. And yeah, so yeah, that's this book is probably the one I'm gonna pick up next or focus on next. And then there's actually just one book left on this whole. Well, I suppose this maybe is no, I suppose uh, one and zero and one and two. Okay, so I suppose technically the last book in this endeavor would be this one. I mean, my whole point of this vlog is kind of to DNF or finish. So yeah, this one I'm pretty sure I want DNF because I love this series so much. It's the last in the series. This one though, I'm still unsure, but I still kind of want to give it another go. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this one and then this one. And then I might add another book on this vlog, but I feel like this vlog is getting a bit long now, so maybe not. And my reading mood hasn't been that perfect or happy-go-lucky lately, so maybe I won't do the last one. I'm not sure. Also, yeah, I have mascara in my eye there. I can't be bothered to take it away. Yeah, I'm lazy. Okay, see you later. So this is another update to my long procrastination vlog. Uh, I had thought maybe to like include a last book that's not like haven't started yet, but I'm thinking this is probably gonna be the last part of it because yeah, honestly I just kind of have one more book left in this whole endeavor in a way, and I just instead of like including it here, I'm just gonna surprise myself and kind of take the pressure off, and then I might read it during December, or I might simply put it off for next year because, yeah, I've just been procrastinating a lot, and I don't know. For me, at least, sometimes with TBRs, it kind of has to. I can't like have it very strict. I kind of have to like this is a TBR ish. So like if I set too much TBR restrictions, I just kind of don't want to read it because it kind of becomes a task. So yeah. Anyhow, the book that I finished and therefore ending this long vlog. Well, long. Probably might not be that long, but it feels long. And it's been going on for some weeks. Some weeks. Just a few tiny weeks. But yeah. These two are the two books I'm ending on. So I'm going to first talk about this one. The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl by Fyodor Goss. It's the last book in this trilogy. I started it as an audiobook back in August, and I tried several times with the audiobook, but the narrator just got on my nerves. I just could not with her voice. I can't really say that she did a bad job. It's just that I mean sometimes voices uh, don't really fit, don't really work for you, and then you can have to stop. At least I do. Like I can't listen to a long audiobook with a voice that kind of grinds me. I can't do it. So yeah, I got this as paperback, as you see, from work, and I started for real. Like I started just like reading to half a page on audiobook, but it wasn't that much. But I started for real, like reading it for reals this last week, and then I've been reading a bit now and then, but I haven't really been like picking it very like focused on it so much. And then yesterday I thought, you know what, I want to read this today. So today, when I woke up, I I have an alarm on, even if I didn't really have that many plans today. But yeah, I woke up at 8 past 8, and I started reading this. At that point, I was in chapter 2, so I read most of the chapters from 8 till 3 in the afternoon. So yeah, I just spent all day, more or less, all day reading because I don't know. I didn't take a break for breakfast or walk or anything like that. I just lay in bed reading because I just felt like it. Sometimes you kind of just want to lay in bed and read and just kind of ignore your stomach saying you need some food, or ignore it saying you need some water, but just no, you just want to read. So that's what I did. Yeah, I really like sometimes just lay in bed for a long time and just read. I think this actually has been the first time in many years that I haven't finished the books until that I haven't stop reading until 3 in the afternoon. Often it's more like 12 or maybe 1. Now it's 3, so yeah, 3. So it was quite a few hours, really. But it is a big book, so not that weird in a way, I suppose. I did take 2 small breaks to just check out on online. And of course, well, of course, it's not of course, but now and then I had to close the book and like, what? What? And just complained about how stupid the people were in the book. For example, I'm just gonna gripe a bit now, but yeah, for example, okay, so as you might know, maybe you don't, but I'm Norwegian, I live in Norway. This book takes place in, well, it's this book takes place specifically in England. The first book takes place in England and Italy. The second book takes place in Prague, so they kind of in Budapest, so they kind of move around Europe in this series. But like, yeah, um, but yeah, like yeah. So like I suppose like the home of the protagonist is in London, and okay, yeah. So also like in the beginning of this book, they just come back from the setting of the last book, which was Budapest, so they come back to London from that trip, and yeah, um. And also, I kind of have to say, preface this with saying, like, this is not just in England, it's also something we do in Norway, sadly, but it doesn't mean I agree with it. But yeah, so okay, so the thing is, the most of the cast they come back, and since this takes place in 1800s, it's not obviously, but yeah, they have a maid because the protagonist used to be rich. Now she's rich-ish, but she still has a maid that she employs, and the maid tells her, "Oh, I would love to go traveling around Europe. I've never gone traveling around Europe." And I'm just, no, sorry, she said, "I've never been to Europe." That's her words. "I've never been to Europe." And then another character mentioned the same thing in the other in a different scene, like, "Oh, you've been to Europe. You're so lucky. When I was younger, I went traveling around Lahore in Asia, but I haven't been to Europe." And it's just so face palm because England is in Europe. London is in Europe. If you'd said, "I haven't been to Central Europe," that'd be fine. If you said you haven't been to Budapest, that'd be fine. But I mean, I know this is me being nitpicky because I do know people like in real life, like people who say like they're going to Europe for a weekend or something like they're going to Europe unless you're saying this while you're a Norwegian, Englishman, Irishman on the seas in the Atlantic Ocean, stuff like that. If you're saying this while you're in England or Norway or Sweden, you are still in Europe. It frustrates me to no ends. Just Yeah, I do understand they're talking about like mainland Europe with like where most of Europe is, because a lot of Europe, in case you didn't know, a lot of Europe is like this big blob here, and then you have the UK, and then you have Norway and Sweden and Norway and Sweden, Finland. But it's all part of Europe. So yeah, it grinds my gears so much. But other than that, this book, well, but other than that, mostly this book was so good. I do have, I just realized I do have one other gripe. Okay, so as I said, this is the third in the series, so spoilerish. So in this series, Sherlock Holmes has a part. In this book, I suppose he has more bigger part in the other books. It still is not huge, but it's still there. But yeah, so in this book, he kisses one of the parents and like, what? Where did this romance come from? Where? I kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, and like, one, I didn't really, yeah, as I said, it felt like it came out of nowhere, and two, Sherlock Holmes has more or less always been portrayed as asexual, and suddenly he's kissing. Okay, okay, you go ahead, you do that. Sorry, just that bothered me. That bothered me. But, but aside from those 2 points, this book was very enjoyable. Well, I suppose, yeah, I wouldn't be reading it for hours and hours and hours if it wasn't. If it wasn't that enjoyable, I would just read like a bit now and then or DNF it, like it was awful. But it's not. It's just, yeah, delightful and very good. And yeah, I would say predictable enough. Maybe not predictable, but as I do sometimes, people maybe do sometimes. I'm not sure how many people do this, but yeah, as I said, this is the third in the series, and I love this series. So when I closed the last page of this book, I showed it to you because it was emotional ending this journey with these people. So yeah, quite sad. I suppose you never know. Maybe the author like writes short stories in this universe, because that's perfectly possible. She just reference stuff that is not like written out in this book and in the other books. So she could do that, but like I suppose also like kind of understand her ending in there, because you kind of want people to end before like, no, we're tired of you, like end on top, stop on top really. And this really does that. I feel like, yeah, it's very good to really have it as a trilogy. Just 3 books. Just 3 books is very good for the tuners, I would say. So yeah. Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl by Fyodor Goss. Then we have, and this one I actually finished last weekend, The Rosie Results by Graeme Simpson. Sorry, Graeme Simpson. So this is the third book in actually another trilogy. They're both finishing both last books in trilogies. And that wasn't on purpose. It's just kind of accidentally. But yeah, so last week I was like, I want to read contemporary, but I wasn't really sure what I was in the mood for. I picked up different contemporaries. Read the first page, and like, not sure, not sure. I picked up this, and I thought like, yeah, I'm in the mood for this one. Yeah, so this is also, as was you might have guessed, well, kind of name for in a way. This is, well, I suppose it's not, but yeah, this is the last in a favorite series of mine, the Rosie series. The first one is the Rosie Project, then it's the Rosie Effect, and then the Rosie Results. I suppose you could say call the Rosie series. I'm not sure if it's called anything. Maybe it's just called the Rosie Project. I'm not sure, but yeah. And yeah, this book it takes place in Australia. So okay, the first book takes place in Australia. Second book they move to the US, and then stuff happens there. And then in this third book they move again to Australia. And also it takes place actually 11 years after the second book. So like things have happened. Instead of having like Don having a new kid on the way, he has a 11-year-old now. And also this book actually takes place over 2-3 years. So kind of you see like and you see some storylines, you see how they evolve over time and stuff. And yeah, it's highly enjoyed it. This one I didn't actually tell it to you when I finished, but yeah, it was very fun to read, very enjoyable. Uh, Other than that, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna really say anything on that right now. I can talk about it more later. Right now, that's what I'm gonna say. Alright. I don't really want to say anything more. Not because I only have bad things, just because yeah, I just feel like not saying anything more. So yeah, that's when I'm gonna stop this vlog. Unless I'm lying and suddenly you see another clip after this one. Though I don't think so, though I could be wrong here. But yeah, this is where I plan to finish it anyway. As I've said. I hope you enjoy this little vlog. Leave your comments in the leave your comments in the comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments on the different books, on how stupid I am for finishing these DNFing some books, or for liking that and not liking that, or just saying hi. And yeah, bye.